Hey everyone, Christopher Ruocchio here of Sun Eater, and today I am going to do something I don't do very often, and that is talk about my Patreon. And the reason I don't talk about the Patreon very much is because historically I haven't done that much with it. The main thing over there for years has been my weekly writing reports. Every week on Friday, unless I'm traveling, I post a report on how the writing has gone for that week with word counts and chapter counts and percentages and a general evaluation of my progress. How are things going? Has it been slow? Has it been tough? Whatever. Um, that, and of course, the other thing has been my behind the scenes drafts. I show drafts of early chapters, including the next book. That does happen occasionally, but I also show chapters from unpublished things like The Murdered Son. This last behind the scenes look, actually, just a couple of days ago, I actually posted the second Adaman story from my new fantasy universe. So if you enjoyed The Barrow King over on Galaxy and you want to read the next one, you absolutely can. It is right there on the Patreon. It's called The Shrine of Lost Stars, and I am very happy with it. It's still a rough draft, but I'm very proud of that rough draft, and I hope that you will enjoy it. But I realized Patreon needed to evolve and needed to do more, and the decision that we came to after some discussion, my wife and I, is that it needed to become a machine that generated art, because I know how much you all have enjoyed the art from the various special editions. I wanted to keep that ball rolling, and so what we hit on was these. These being trading cards of characters from the books. We've got a Hadrian here and a Valka. These are not the only Hadrian and Valka we will ever make. We will be making sort of variants of the characters, but these are to start. And if you want to sign up for the Patreon so that you can get Sun Eater trading cards, character cards, you can. Right now, there are 3 tiers. The first tier gets 1 card, the second tier gets 2 cards, the third tier gets 3 cards. You can read more, of course, over on the Patreon, but I wanted to walk through how this goes. So we have made 3 cards right now. There is a third character, which I'm not going to show you because it's a surprise, and some of the characters will be surprises. But the basic idea is this. You sign up for one of those tiers, and once every 3 months, you will get an envelope in the mail. This one is not sealed because I'm going to reuse it. And depending on what tier you're at, that envelope will contain a couple of things. It will contain a postcard. This just says thank you for your patronage, of course, but it also features art, in this case from the Diamond Edition of Empire of Silence, and it also serves to help protect the booster pack, which is sort of the main thing. But depending on what level you got, if you got 2 or 3 cards, you also get a book plate with my signature on it, which is great if you need your book signed, and I have not been anywhere near you. But the main thing is that you get this here, a booster pack, which is, well, just like you would if you were playing Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic the Gathering. And so I'm going to go ahead and open this one here, and it will contain the number of cards that you've signed up for. In this case, I think we put 3 in here. No, we put 2 in here because it's just another Hadrian and Valka. For the moment, there are only 3 cards that exist. These 2, and like I said, the third one. So if you sign up for the 3-card tier, you will get all 3, and you will have a comprehensive set of all the Sun Eater trading cards that exist for the moment. However, that will start to change. Every 3 months, we will introduce new artwork to the pot. We'll be doing a minimum of 2 cards per quarter. They will, at least the next 2, will certainly be illustrated by James Cook. Down the road, we may bring in other artists as well, but James is sort of our guy for the moment, because we're also using this to develop the looks of the characters for future Diamond Editions. We've got a lot more art to work on, James and me, and so this is going to help us inform the visual grammar for the universe as well. But patrons get to vote. If you are a patron at the 1-card level or higher, you get a say in who the next character to become a card will be. And so that is very exciting, and those will be done on a sort of event basis. So the upcoming event will be for Disquiet Gods, because the next cards will be shipping around December, and it is in December that the paperback of Book 6 will be coming out. So we have an opportunity to get card-made characters like Cassandra, like Edward, like Ramanthanu, or Anaz, or Selene, and so we'll be putting a poll together here fairly soon in order for people to cast those votes. So if you would like to be a part of that, if you'd like to get cards, you can do that over on the Patreon. But there's more to these cards than that. There's some biographical facts, of course, on the back. They're a bit more like baseball cards than they are like Magic the Gathering cards. You can see I got some info about Valka here, and you can see the QR code under my finger as well. And those QR codes will link to pages, secret pages, on my website. You can, of course, just copy the URL. But Those pages contain lore essays that I have written about the character and about the time of life that the artwork generally reflects. These are both circa early Howling Dark cards. In this case, the idea being they sort of tie into the Diamond Edition of Howling Dark, which is coming out fairly soon. Um, and um, and so you can read essays, and every new card will have a similar lore page attached to it. Those pages will eventually become public. I'm sure they will leak anyway, and that's fine. But they will eventually get posted in some sort of database. But for now, those pages are exclusive to the people who have the cards, and the thing you're really getting for your patronage is the card itself. And of course, you will also be helping to patronize more art in the Sun Eater universe. That has become sort of the driving purpose for the Patreon. And I'm very excited about these. I'm excited to have the opportunity to represent characters who otherwise might not make the cut on the cover, right? It makes sense to have Hadrian and Valka on the cover frequently. It might make less sense for Polino to show up, say, or Corvo, or whoever, right? And so this is a way to get those characters their time in the sun, so to speak. So that is, very exciting. I'm very excited about that. But the question then is what happens later on, right? As more cards enter the pot, does that mean that we're keeping track of which cards you receive? The answer is no. That would be an enormous headache. It is possible for you to receive duplicates down the road. If you go for that 3-card tier, you are guaranteed a new pull every single time. 2 of the cards will be random. 1 card is guaranteed new. But you can get repeats, and the idea there is that you might trade with other Sun Eater readers. That does mean you might have to use the mail, or worse, meet in real life. But I thought that might be a fun little mechanic to get you all sort of talking. But yeah, so that is the plan. Now, like I said, the cards are mailing out every 3 months, and the first mailing will be next Wednesday on September the 18th. If you want to get in on this first set, you need to make sure that you subscribe to the Patreon before then, because we'll be mailing the cards out on that day, and we will not be mailing any cards until we mail out the second batch in December. This is something you don't get them when you sign up. You get them on the drop date, and the drop date will be approximately every 3 months, shipping permitted from the printer. The cards, too, you will notice, are really nice. We've got these embossed borders around here. Those are gloss. There will be rarity levels that will have different colors of foil. There'll be uncommons, rares, ultra rares, and so you'll have obviously better chances of getting commons than you will ultra rares as things go on. There are no rares just yet. It's early days, but they'll be introduced as time goes on. And we may make other cards for special events, tours, for example, or book releases even. Who knows? But this is something that we'll be doing on an ongoing basis in support of the series long term, which I'm very excited about. I think it's very fun. As you know, art is my favorite part of this whole process besides the actual writing, and so this has been very fun for me, and James is very excited about it as well. And we'll be bringing them to you very, very soon. Now, the cards will be shipping out on Wednesday, September the 18th. And if you want to be eligible, if you want to get, rather, this first batch of cards, the thing that you're going to need to do is sign up for the Patreon before that date. Because it's not one of those things where you get the cards when you sign up for the Patreon. You get the cards when they drop. And they drop approximately every 3 months or so. So if you sign up after Wednesday, you won't be getting cards until December. And so make sure if you want them that you sign up here soon. And that about does it for this video. I'm very excited about these cards. I hope that you will be as well. Those lore pages are really fun. I've done my best to hide some very clever things in these first couple of lore pages, and I'm excited to start writing more of them here in the near future. We got a bunch of cards already in the works for the next batch. We kind of want to make sure that we get some diversity in terms of just number of cards out there, because you will be pulling these randomly. Like I said, it's possible to duplicate, and we want to minimize those chances early on, so that it's just more fun and less of a headache. But yeah, that about does it, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, farewell.